Hi once again and welcome back to thedrinker.co.uk with me, Pete Turner, for another one of my seasonal roundup vids of all the supermarkets in the UK in the winter going into the spring 2025 to 2026. And in this vid I'm at Asda, and Asda are sort of becoming my favourite supermarket for these kind of wines, and all of the wines in all of the vids still are under £10, so this sort of sub £10 bracket Asda do really well. I cover all of the Asda wines. If you check out thedrinker.co.uk on the homepage, click on the Asda button, you'll see my reviews of all of their wines at all the different price points, so all of those above £10 as well. So here we go. I've got 2 reds, 2 whites, a rosé and a fizz for the season, and we're starting off with this Ile de Beauté. I'm pronouncing it wrong. There's a couple of things I'm going to pronounce wrong. I'm going to pronounce the grapes wrong in this as well. But Ile de Beauté is Corsica, so it comes from France, lovely Mediterranean island. This is $6.97 and 12.5%. And another thing I'm going to pronounce wrong are the grape varieties, which I think are Nielaculu and Schiacarello. So if I'm pronouncing it wrong, do let me know in the comments below. And what do you get? So you've got a clear bottle, which you don't often get. Then you can see it's a lovely light pale red wine, and it's beautiful looking, and it's from their Wine Atlas range. And their Wine Atlas range, I think I've got another one later on from the Wine Atlas. They give you a chance to see different grape varieties, different parts of the world that you might not have ordinarily got, which Nielaculu is certainly one of them. And it's a beautifully lovely, I want to say, black currant, black cherry, and then behind that I'm getting some tobacco leaf, a lovely bit of tobacco leaf, almost cigar box, and then there's some dried herbs. I want to say Mediterranean herbs, but dried Mediterranean herbs. Did I tell you, it's $6.97, 12.5%, and that fruit is prominent to start with. So it's black currant, black cherry, blackberry, really ripe, good intensity to it, but it's kind of light in body, so that would do well chilled, I think. And then that tobacco leaf is still there, and then there's dried rosemary and dried thyme, really lovely herbal notes to it. I think that's classy. For $6.97, it looks great, it tastes great, you could chill it, you can have it room temp. I think that's a smashing little wine to start us off. So next up, this comes from the ever reliable extra special range. This is Carmenere, $6.98, 13.5%, and it comes from the Rapel Valley in Chile. So Rapel Valley is kind of inland in Chile, so it doesn't get those kind of cooling Pacific breezes, and it really suits Carmenere as a grape. So Carmenere was originally from Bordeaux, and it's done really well in Chile. Rapel Valley makes about a quarter of all of Chile's wines. And unlike the first one, this is much more generous on the nose. So I'm thinking Ribena, blackcurrant, really deep Ribena, blackcurrant. And then behind that, there's instead of the herbal notes, we're getting something spicy. So I'm thinking black pepper and cinnamon and mace, something really interesting in there. So it's $6.98. So that fruit is really ripe, and it's erring towards the sweet, but not in a bad way. The tannins are easy, it's gentle, it's integrated, and then behind it is that lovely sort of road tar spicy note to it. Really lovely wine, exceptionally well made. At $6.98, it's a good sort of winter, colder months wine. Really beautiful. It's the kind of wine that would do exceptionally well with food. Lovely kind of big kind of casserole-y wine. Super stuff. So next up, again, we are with the extra special range. This is $7.47. This is Languedoc. It just says Languedoc. It's Languedoc Blanc, and it's a blend of grapes, and I've got them written down: Roussanne, Clairette, Grenache, Viognier and Marsanne, and a couple of others. I think it's 12.5%. And comes from the southwest of France, which is where the Languedoc is. And it's got a little bit of oak to it as well. So there's a lovely, behind lemon and peach and apple, there's a lovely coconut husk nose on there. And the lemon and the peach really persists on the palate. That little bit of coconut husk behind it just elevates it and brings everything together. It's fresh and dry, good acidity. It's bright, and at 7.47, that would make a very, very acceptable house white for the winter and the spring. Beautiful stuff. Really, really well done. The extra special range at Asda are always reliable. Okay, so next up, this comes from the exceptional range. So little cut above for Asda. This is £6.82. It's 13.5%, and it's Chenin Blanc from South Africa, from Paarl in South Africa. Now, Chenin Blanc can be a difficult grape because it grows inconsistently, ripens inconsistently. So some of the bunches will be good and some won't, and if you pick them all together, they can make really kind of acidic, unbalanced wines. But this is old vine Chenin Blanc. So the older the vines, the better the quality. They produce less grapes, but they are much, much better, and they ripen more consistently too. Did I say this is 6.82? So it comes from Paarl in South Africa, good Mediterranean climate. And this too has had some oak, but the oak here is much more prominent, much more vanilla on the nose. And then there is, I want to say, pineapple behind that, and grapefruit. I'm not sure you can see that, but it's slightly darker colour. It's beautifully made. It's had some lees stirring, some batonnage. So when it's aging, all the sediment sinks to the bottom and they stir it up. And it gives the wine more body and more depth and more texture and more complexity. And that's what that's had. So that vanilla is there, and it's grapefruit and pineapple and mango and really refreshing acidity. I think that's a super wine. If you don't mind your wines with a little bit of oak, but quite restrained, I think that's really, really well done. So next up, another beautiful bottle. This is Coteaux Varois from Provence. And again, it's a blend of grapes, Grenache, Cinsault and Syrah. And this is 7.47, and it is 12.5%. And it's a classic, really light, beautiful looking Provence Rosé. On the nose, it's raspberry. On the palate, it's raspberry and red currant, and it's drying and fresh and good acidity. Mouth-watering, lovely, lovely wine. I think it's a really, really well-made wine at 7.47. Again, could be your house rosé for the darker months. I think that's a smashing job. And then last of all, this comes from another one from the Wine Atlas range. It just says Garda on the front, but it's sparkling Spumante wine from Lake Garda in northern Italy, 6.97. It's made with the Garganega grape, which is used to make Soave. Don't hold that against it. And it's beautiful. Like, this has been poured some time, but it's still lovely and frothy. And it's a lovely lemon sherbet nose. Again, dry and fresh and bright, mouth-watering. That lemon persists. A little bit of green apple peel, and I'm thinking, yeah, what's the good green apple? Granny Smith peel. If you're peeling an apple to make an apple pie, that's all you're getting on the palate there. It's beautiful. Excellent celebratory sipper, and really, really well priced at 6.97. So there you go. That's my 6 picks for this season from Asda. So do give me a like, share and follow. Do press the follow button. Do give me a thumbs up. We want to build the community on here. Let me know what you're drinking. Let me know what you think of these wines. Get yourself down to Asda, because there is some fabulous value there. So I'm Pete. I'm on thedrinker.co.uk. Enjoy your wines this season. Cheers.